morning all of you. Now I'm going to discuss about the power flow controller in controlling series hybrid electric vehicle. So this series hybrid electric vehicle power flow is divided into four modes of operation. In the first mode, that is the normal driving or acceleration. So in the normal driving or acceleration, only the battery is taking up the charge. So from the battery, the power is supplied to the power controller, and generator is also given to the controller, that is given to the motor. From the motor, it is given to the transmission. From the transmission, it is given to the wheels. So that means F indicates here fuel tank, E indicates engine, G indicates generator, T indicates power controller, D indicates battery, M indicates motor. So in the first mode, during driving operation, only the battery, from the battery only the energy flows. So from the battery, the energy flows to the power controller, from the power controller to the motor to the transmission. In the second mode, during the light load, that means during the light load, in the sense there is no upside. If the vehicle is moving downwards, then what happens is that time there will be energy. There is not that much an amount of energy required by the electric motor. In that time, what happens is from the generator, the electricity will be starts flowing to the power controller. In that, some part of energy is stored in the battery, and some part is given to the motor, so the motor is given connected to the transmission. And during the third mode, that is the braking or acceleration. So during deceleration, there is no need of a motor to drive the vehicle. So in that time, when you press the brakes, what happens is from the transmission there is mechanical energy available. Now this motor acts as a generator, and it will take the mechanical energy as input, and it will provide the electrical energy as output to the power controller. From the power controller, it is given to the battery to store the electric energy. So this is the regenerative brake. And the mode 4 is vehicle at stop. That means when the vehicle is not moving, it is at stop. If you want to charge the battery, then from the fuel tank to the engine, the supply will be given. From the engine to the generator to power controller, then to the battery, so that the battery can be charged. This is how the power flows in a series hybrid. Next, coming to the power flow control in parallel hybrid is, so parallel hybrid means both the engine will be taking up the transmission, and also the battery will be taking up the transmission. So the fuel tank to the engine to the transmission. This can drive the vehicle, or from battery to the power controller to the motor to the transmission. Either of one can take up the uh, control. So here in this mode 1, during startup, what happens is some amount of power, only the battery will start the motor. So the motor will move to the transmission will move the vehicle. And during the second mode, during normal mode, there is no power transmitted from the battery. Only the engine will take care of the movement. So from the fuel tank, fuel is moved to the engine ignition takes place, internal combustion takes place, and it is given to the transmission, which will move the vehicle. And in the mode 3 is during regenerative braking. So during regenerative braking, any of the engine or motor will provide the energy. So during braking, what happens is that the transmission, there will be kinetic energy that is converted to mechanical energy that is given to the motor. This motor now acts as a generator and converts the mechanical energy to electric energy, and that is given to the power controller, that is given to the battery to charge the battery. This is the regenerative brake. And mode 4 is during light load. So during light load, what happens is the fuel tank, from the fuel tank, the energy is given to the engine, and engine will move the vehicle. And apart from that, that energy can be moved also in the reverse direction to store the batteries also. This is the parallel hybrid. And other one is power flow control in series parallel hybrid. So in the series parallel hybrid, it is a combination of both the series and parallel hybrid systems. So it can operate in two different ways. Those are classified as IC engine dominated system and electric motor dominated system. In the IC engine dominated system, there are 6 modes of operation. In the mode 1, what happens is that is the startup. During startup, only the battery will be providing the power. During acceleration, both the fuel tank as well as the both the IC engine as well as the battery will move the vehicle. During normal drive, the battery will be in idle, only the engine will take care of the driving. And during deceleration mode, the power will be flowing in the reverse direction to charge the batteries. And during mode 5, battery charging during driving. So during driving, what happens is the fuel engine to engine, it will be fuel tank to engine, it is connected. The engine will drive the vehicle, and also the engine will give supply to the generator. So the generator is given to the power controller to charge the batteries. And in the mode 6, that is the battery charging during standstill. So during idle condition, there is no power transmitted to the vehicle. Only the power given by the engine is given to charge the batteries. That is about the IC engine dominated vehicle. Whereas coming to the EM dominated series parallel hybrid electric vehicle is, it also consists of 6 modes of operation. In the mode 1, that is startup, what happens is the only battery will give the power supply to the electric motor. This will run the electric vehicle. In the mode 2 acceleration, the battery is not only enough, and also engine also supplies power to the vehicle. And in case of mode 3 normal drive, in the normal drive, the fuel tank to the engine, engine to the vehicle, and also it is connected to the motor. Both are required in this operation. And during regenerative braking, the power flows in the reverse direction from the transmission to the generator, generator to power converter to the battery. So the battery will be charged during regenerative braking. And in the mode 5, that is battery charging during driving. So during driving, the fuel from the fuel tank to the engine it is given. It is given to the transmission, and also it will also charge the batteries via the generator. And in mode 6, battery charging during standstill. So during standstill, there is no power flowing through the transmission. Only the power given by the engine is given to charge the battery. So these are the 6 modes of operation in EM dominated system. And coming to the electric vehicle configuration, so the electric vehicle has 3 major subsystems. Those are, first one is electric propulsion, second one is energy source, third one is auxiliary system. So in here, this is the first subsystem, electric propulsion system. So this electric propulsion system consists of electronic controller, power converter, electric motor to the transmission. And second one is nothing but the energy source subsystem. So energy source subsystem means it consists of the battery. So for to maintain the energy in the battery, you need an energy management unit, so that how much energy it is going to use. So those things will take care of the energy management unit. And the energy refueling unit means if you want to charge the battery, then it can be given a charger to connect the electric refueling unit. And also from the battery, the power is also transmitted to auxiliary power supply. So this auxiliary power supply is required because in the vehicle there is air conditioners and also tape recorders, FM drive there. So for them there is some amount of power supply required. So that is taken care of by the auxiliary power supply. That is given to the power steering unit, and power steering unit will take the input from the steering wheel, and it will give to the controller. So this way the controller will give to the electric motor, and electric motor will give to the transmission to the wheels. So both the brake as well as the accelerator will be working here. So electronic controller will take the inputs from the brake and accelerator, and it will give to the electric motor for the transmission. So these are the different subsystems. So those are electric propulsion subsystem, energy source subsystem, and this is the auxiliary subsystem. So these are the 3 main parts of the electric vehicle.